Children know that if there's an issue, they can raise their hand or communicate with the coaches very openly. And what that does, I think, for a child in particular, is empower them with confidence so that they know that when they're in a situation that's uncomfortable or somebody's pressuring them, they know how to manage their own emotions and feelings and physicality.
A child-focused complaints procedure puts children at the centre of the process, removes barriers that can discourage children from speaking up, and supports families throughout the procedure. An effective complaints framework is transparent and provides clear expectations for every step of the process when responding to allegations. This means that it is understood by children, staff, volunteers and families, and is reviewed regularly.
CREATE developed a complaints handling guidelines for New South Wales and nationally because it was a hot topic that young people spoke to us that they felt that their voices weren't being heard in the manner that they'd like to. And one of the key things is that the language needs to be very appropriate and child-friendly. Sometimes we can communicate in an adult language and it doesn't make sense because there's a really key aspect that any child at any age needs to be heard and listened to, and we need to make sure our communication, our dialogue, our language is appropriate.
In terms of Cumberland City Council, through the Internal Ombudsman Shared Service, we have put together some very innovative ways of making sure that we have consistency, transparency in our complaint handling processes. We've developed triage process so that if a complaint comes in, we are able to, with key people within the organisation, assess the complaint, assess the information and get an agreed approach as to how it is to be dealt with.
Across all levels of junior sport in particular, children are encouraged to speak up and speak out about any issues they face, whether that's good or bad. We also have a online portal where they can report things confidentially so that we can address any of those concerns. So part of that process is the Basketball New South Wales has adopted the Charter of Victims' Rights so that each child and each complainant can be treated with courtesy, compassion and respect at all times.
Child-safe complaints procedures ensure that complaints are taken seriously and responded to promptly and thoroughly. During the process, the privacy of people involved should be prioritised.
We also have developed this incredible little business card that we've been using for many, many years now. We call it a child business card. On the card, it's got the name of the case manager and it says, we always love to hear from you, just to have a chat if anything's worrying you or you just want to talk to us. So what we're trying to really establish there with children is that we really care about them and that they're empowered and have a way to talk to us.
Every child and young person who comes to the Y knows that they can talk to one of our team members if they are worried about anything. We have a program called See Something, Tell Someone. We make sure we are open, we listen, and we are non-judgmental and can respond to the needs of children and young people. And we hire people that reflect that in how they work. We get regular feedback from our children and young people about their experiences at the Y, and it's usually always great, but we respond immediately if there is a concern raised.
So how do you know if you're meeting Standard 6? Ask yourself these questions in relation to how your complaints procedure reflects child safety. How do we prioritise the safety of all children in our organisation after a complaint is received? How do we make our staff aware of their internal and external reporting obligations, including reportable conduct? How do we record complaints about child abuse? What mechanisms ensure the confidentiality of complaints and the investigative process? Take a screenshot to save these for later. Visit the Office of the Children's Guardians resource page for free training and resources on creating a child-safe culture. Contact the Child Safe Officer for your sector for more specific assistance on implementing the standards.